the Senate resolves to further alter its calendar, regular sessions for the third session 2024 in respect of Part 4 to 1. Continue with regular sittings until Thursday, 31st of October 2024. 2. Proceed for recess from 1st of November 2024. And 3. Resume regular sittings on Tuesday, 12th of November 2024. Honorable members, I will allow members to contribute to this particular motion. I have a number of members who've requested to contribute. Senator Orwoba, Gloria.
Thank you, Speaker. It is important that, Speaker, we contribute to the matters we want to contribute, Mr. Speaker. And I want to support this proposal, Mr. Speaker. I want to support this because I have seen what recess does. People come back rejuvenated, but I have also seen that sometimes it is better we stay in chambers and have the debates that we need to have, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, coming from a background that believes that all jobs are dignified and must be respected, Mr. Speaker, as a specially elected senator, I want to say that even as I take my recess, Mr. Speaker, in the proposed dates that we have, Mr. Speaker, we go back to talk to the housemaids that Senator Kajwang was referring to, Mr. Speaker. Those are dignified jobs, and those are voters, and they should be respected, Mr. Speaker. So as a house, sometimes, and this is why I think this proposal that is being brought by the majority leader is important, because I think Senator Kajwang needs to go back home and appreciate the people that voted him in. Some of those people are housemaids that Senator Kajwang, and I'm sure he has a housemaid in the house, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, as I support this proposal, Mr. Speaker, I want to remind all the senators that recess should be taken seriously, and when we go for recess, when the time comes, now that it has been postponed, Mr. Speaker, I urge all the senators to go and talk to all the electorates, including the housemaids.
What is your point of order? Senator Gloria. Senator Gloria, allow Senator Kajwang to raise his point of order. Proceed,
Mr.
Senator
Speaker,
Kajwang.
it is out of order to impute improper motives on the part of colleagues. We had a debate here, a conversation on statements, a matter that has been prosecuted on discussion of the calendar of the Senate. Senator Gloria Orwoba is imputing that Senator Kajwang has got a low opinion of housemates. I never said that. I never, and it's not about sounding. Mr. Speaker, can you direct Senator Orwoba to stop clout chasing and focus on the matters at hand, and to withdraw the kind of motive that she's trying to impute on my part? Mr. Speaker, it is house girls that feed my children, that feed me, that clean my house. I hold them in the highest esteem. The only question here is that we are not producing jobs for the future. That's my problem.
Senator
So, Mr. Speaker, please guide Senator Gloria to focus on the things that are before us, or else she logs out.
Very well, Senator Gloria, kindly resume, and as you submit or
Mr. Speaker,
contribute to this motion, refrain.
Mr. Speaker, I am contributing to the motion.
Proceed.
The motion is about the calendar of Senate.
Senator Gloria,
yes.
Allow the chair to conclude the directions he was giving.
Okay.
Continue submitting to the motion, but refrain from making reference aligned to the extent that is not within the motion on the adjournment of the House.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I stand guided, and I am encouraging. Mr. Speaker, the motion is about the calendar, and in that calendar we have recess. And you know, we have seen even most of the times people think recess you go to sleep, but recess is actually about going back to your constituency of people who elected you, so that you can touch base with them, Mr. Speaker. Amongst those people are plumbers, mamambogas, and housemaids and house girls, Mr. Speaker. So for me, I am just encouraging all the senators in the House that when they go back to recess, they should not forget the house girls, because those house girls, those are dignified jobs. And Mr. Speaker, as I was contributing to that motion, I also wanted to really place the importance of all jobs, senators, National Assembly members of Parliament, all jobs, even your job in the Speaker's panel, Mr. Speaker. And this is being addressed in the calendar that we have there, because recess, the purpose of recess is so that we can touch base with the people who sent us here to represent them, Mr. Speaker. And I can tell you, as a specially elected senator to represent women, Mr. Speaker, we fall under the cadre, most of us, of house girls. So I am speaking to those specially elected constituency of people. We respect them, and Mr. Speaker, even if we have to export 1 million house girls, Mr. Speaker, to Dubai, to wherever, some of these house girls, I have lived in Denmark. We pay some of these house girls more than we pay the senators in this house. So, Mr. Speaker, we should remember that every argument we bring to this
Senator
house,
Gloria.
Mr. Speaker,
Senator Gloria.
and I want to conclude by saying I support the motion.
Senator Sifuna.
Honorable Speaker, let me begin by saying that I share in the frustrations that have been expressed by the Majority Leader, because I sit with him on the Senate Business Committee, and also you do. Honorable Speaker, if you look at the matters that are on the order paper, it's sometimes very, very difficult for us to clean the order paper. And I'm sure that each one of us is interested in making sure that their business moves. At least I can speak for those senators on the minority side. We have tried to develop a system where they tell us in the leadership, especially the whips, when people are traveling, when it is likely that we can have matters put to a vote, and so on and so forth. Honorable Speaker, of course, this calendar alteration has been necessitated by the matters that came before us during recess. And after the extension of the 2 weeks, Majority Leader, it was also my expectation that at least yesterday we would have a full house so that we would be able to transact some of the business, and that was a bit disappointing. But the chair, and I'm happy that the Speaker who's on the chair today was here with me yesterday, and we prosecuted the matter until the last order. And it was, as the situation was as described by the Majority Leader, the house was quite empty. And sometimes I also wonder, is there another Senate somewhere? You know, because you could be sitting here thinking that we are the Senate, and yet the quorum is somewhere else. And I also sometimes ask Eddie, Senator Eddie here, to also take me to these places that he goes on the afternoons. And because, Honorable Speaker, I don't think it is the work of the whips. And Senator Khalwale can bear me witness, Honorable Speaker. It is not the work of the whips to carry senators physically on their backs and deliver them to the House.
Resume your seat. What is your point of order, Senator Eddie?
Mr. Speaker, you know, I don't know what is going on with the leadership today, Mr. Speaker, because the leadership keeps on imputing very improper motive on members, Mr. Speaker. I think, Mr. Speaker, it is not fair for, and I think it was on a lighter note, but the problem is that on this answer, anything that is said cannot be a lighter note outside there. It is wrong for my deputy minority whip to actually try to tell the nation that I'm not here in the afternoon, Mr. Speaker. When his own bill was here yesterday, Mr. Speaker, it is me who actually sat here and contributed the entire 20 minutes on his bill, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, if you go unanswered, Mr. Speaker, and check the number of time the deputy minority whip has been in this house in the afternoon compared to Eddie Okech, Mr. Speaker, I think you will find that I've been here 80 times much than the deputy speaker, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, there is something called Mzalendo Trust, Mr. Speaker, that had actually given a score on this house and showed that it's Senator Gay who is the most available person in this house, followed by yours truly, Eddie Okech, in terms of president in this house, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, I wish that my very good friend, Mr. Speaker, Senator Sifuna, can withdraw that statement, and also appreciate that the fact that I supported him yesterday up until the last minute, Mr. Speaker. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Sifuna, resume your seat and resume your contribution. Sorry.
Honorable Speaker, I'm quite surprised by the path that has been taken by Senator Eddie. because I also take him to nice places, especially in the evenings. So if I ask that you show me where you usually go in the afternoon, don't take it personally. But Speaker, I want to conclude by saying that I look at this calendar and it is extremely tight because of the slow pace at which business moves. And if we can commit, I wanted to even suggest maybe to the majority leader that we should designate special days for putting the question and divisions so that it is mandatory for people to attend, and that way all our bills move. Because I can see all of these, many of the bills on the order paper, Honorable Speaker, you will see these are members' bills. And we have already been 2 years in this house. At this particular point in time, you have to demonstrate the sort of legislative work that you have done. So when we say these things, Honorable Speaker, it's not to impute negativity on our colleagues. We know that the senator's life, it is a harrowing job. I understand that. And especially, I feel especially, sensitive for those who have to travel long distances to come to Nairobi for house business. But at the end of the day, Honorable Speaker, it is for the benefit of all of us to be able to be in the house. And a few things that the majority leader said that I have a different perspective on. Honorable Speaker, I had opportunity to sit with a few members of the diaspora. The reason why diaspora remittances are more than any other industry in this country is because we are not creating jobs here. And that is something that has been acknowledged even by the Kenya Kwanza government by trying to put in place certain things. Even yesterday, the debate we were having about having cheaper electricity, putting in place infrastructure, all of those things are the things that other countries have done to encourage investment in their countries that then result in jobs. So it is not that we are exporting labor. We have been unable to create opportunities for people here. And if you speak to the people who have spent their lives in the Middle East, in the Eastern Europe, in the US, doing menial jobs, Honorable Speaker, they would like to come back home. And in fact, that is the message that they told me to carry when I came back, that they would like to come back home. They would like to retire in Kenya. They would also like not even just to retire, but find opportunity to do the same jobs that they are doing out there here in Kenya so that they can be around their families, Honorable Speaker. So lastly, Speaker, we have to be a bit more, I don't know what I can say. I have challenged my friend, the leader of majority, that we need to maintain that spirit we had when we were discussing that motion on nationhood, the state of the nation. It would really feel bad if we lost that spirit. So that if something is wrong, and the way that we had started, if something is wrong, something is wrong. I don't think there is anybody, Honorable Speaker, who can be proud of the country we are living in. When you see the images we saw yesterday on the news, that police officers are bludgeoning a student at the university, and a police officer just casually drops a tear gas canister where the young man is lying. I don't think anybody or any one of us can be proud to live in such a country. And we need to go back with that spirit that as we conduct our affairs here, we can set the objective truth and set our country right. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Senator Sifuna. Senator Cherargei.
Mr. Speaker, thank you very much. I think this is a procedural motion. I want to support